Hello and welcome to the news. I am Saja Brito. Coming up this evening, Army Chief begins nationwide tour to military installations across the country. Brufut community held a press conference to discuss long-standing land issues, and Gambia Transport Union says government should now allow vehicles to carry what they are licensed to carry. And my special guest today is former Secretary General and Minister of Presidential Affairs, Mr. Mamadou Sabally, who has called for the dissolution of the Human Rights Commission, and we'll also be talking about other issues like homosexuality in the Gambia. But first, we'll take a look at the newspapers. And Standard newspaper is reporting that Mai Fati calls for boycott of imams, politicians who support gay rights, and Mamadou Sabally calls for dissolution of National Human Rights Commission. Give land to NAMs in their own constituencies, says General Lamin Bojang, and Cabinet wants a President Barrow to choose Sefolu, and Gambia is 12th most peaceful country in Africa, says report. Let's take a look at some of these stories in detail. Leader of the GMC party, Mai Fati, calls for boycott of imams, politicians who support gay rights in the Gambia. Former Interior Minister and leader of the Gambia Moral Congress Party has called on Gambians to boycott all politicians, imams and priests who directly or indirectly propagate or condone this bestiality. Writing on his Facebook page over the weekend, Mai Ahmed Fatah said, "This is a red line. No one should pray behind an imam or a priest who defends this haram nonsense," he was quoted as saying. Kanifing Estate Mosque Imam Babali has come under a lot of sticks since last week after the National Human Rights Commission, of which he is a commissioner, called on government to defend the human rights of LGBT persons. This followed a similar call by the EU ambassador in the Gambia, Attila Leos. Sabally calls for dissolution of National Human Rights Commission. Former Secretary General and Minister for Presidential Affairs has called on the President and National Assembly to immediately dissolve the entire National Human Rights Commission and replace the members with highly cultured Gambians who will not advocate the gay rights. Speaking in an exclusive interview with the Standard newspaper, Mamadou Sabally argued, "I am reinforcing my call for not only Babali to resign, but for President Adama Barrow and our National Assembly to find ways of dissolving the entire National Human Rights Commission. It is quite clear from their utterances that they are going to either covertly or overtly promote homosexuality in the Gambia." Cabinet wants President to choose chiefs. The power to appoint a district headsman, Sefolu, should be in the hands of the president and not through elections, which will bring disunity and division in the country, President Barrow's cabinet told the Constitutional Review Commission. Citing its position on the draft constitution in a document seen by the Standard newspaper, Cabinet said tradition dictates that Sefolu be appointed by the president on a non-partisan basis. But the CRC has said in the draft constitution that Sefolu should be elected by universal adult suffrage of all registered voters in the district on a non-partisan basis. Give land to National Assembly members in their own constituencies, says GAP leader General Lamin Bojang. The flag bearer of the Gambia Action Party, General Lamin Bojang, has said the idea of allocating plots to National Assembly members in Yundum is a misguided policy that will not help stop the growing land disputes in the Combos. Last month, the Village Development Committee of New Yundum asked the government to return land on which it allocated plots to National Assembly members, claiming it was dubiously taken from the community. Officials of the Ministry of Lands, however, said the land was legally acquired as compensation to the state when the rightful owner wanted to turn its use to residential instead of farming. Gambia is ranked 12th most peaceful country in West Africa, says a report. The latest Global Peace Index, GPI, which ranks 163 independent states and territories according to their level of peacefulness, has named the Gambia as the 12th most peaceful country in sub-Saharan Africa and 60th in the world, produced by the Institute for Economic and Peace. The GPI is the world's leading measure of global peacefulness. The authors say the report presents the most comprehensive data-driven analysis to date on trends in peace, its economic value, and how to develop a peaceful societies. U.S. announces sanctions against ICC's Bensouda and staff. U.S. President Donald Trump on Thursday announced economic and travel sanctions against the International Criminal Court officials directly involved in investigating American troops and intelligence officials and those of allied nations, including Israel, for possible war crimes in Afghanistan and elsewhere. UDP threatens legal actions against police governors Sayfullo taking part in politics. The acting UDP national president, Aji Yamundau Yabo, has said her party will consider legal actions against police officers, governors, and district head chiefs found taking part in party politics. In an audio addressing supporters of the UDP and shared with the Standard newspaper, Mrs. Yabo stated, "If we catch any police officer, chief, or governor, shirk your responsibilities and politicking, we will take you to court and see whether you are supposed to take part in politics or not. We are going to follow due process." It has been widely talked about that Governors Sayfullo and Alkalolo are currently helping President Barrow's NPP to establish its structures around the country. Gambians protest at U.S. Embassy against police brutality. Scores of Gambians on Saturday joined the Rising Against Racism organization to protest against police brutality in the United States in the wake of the police killing of a black man, George Floyd. The protesters, who marched from the Pipeline Mosque to the U.S. Embassy chanting Black Lives Matter and No Justice, No Peace, handed over a petition to the regional security officer at the embassy, Rebecca McKnight, demanding an end to police brutality against people of color in the United States. That's it from the Standard newspaper. Let's take a look at some of the headlines on the Point newspaper. Imam Jah and Sila bash gay rights. People, promoting gay rights like Baba Lee, according to the article. Let's take a look at that story. Dr. Imam Usainu Jah, the Imam of Taqwa Mosque, Battle Hadin Highway, and Ibrahima Silla, the Imam of Lasawaf Mosque in Banjul South, have strongly opposed lambasted proponents of gay and lesbianism rights, saying these rights contravene the teachings of Islam. Jah said there are authentic hadiths that indicate that gay people should be killed, and their supporters have committed greatest sins. During the press conference of the National Human Rights Commission, Imam Babali said human rights was far beyond what they called same-sex marriage, adding that we forget that the Almighty Allah said in the Quran that everyone should be given the right he or she deserves to be given. And of course, Gambia reacts to Michael Correa's U.S. indictment. The Ministry of Justice of the Gambia says it welcomes the indictment in the United States of Michael Sankoria, a member of the alleged assassin team of former President Yahya Jammeh's junglers, for crimes of torture committed in the Gambia. The ministry was quoted as saying, "The ministry is particularly grateful to the United States government for its continued strong support to and cooperation with the Gambia government, especially in respect of the ongoing transitional justice process." That's it for the newspapers. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. And now, Army Chief General Yankuba Drame today commenced a nationwide tour to military installations across the country. The top military officials will also use the tour to meet with officials of other security agencies, local government authorities, and members of the public. Jaka Sise Jaite was at the ferry terminal as the Army Chief of Defense Staff left Banjul, and she now tells us more.
The tour, which will be divided into two phases, the provinces and the Greater Banjul area, is a part of an annual event tour to all military installations in the country, which is aimed at having dialogues with members of the armed forces in relation to their welfare and their working conditions, and equally to discuss policy issues.
The tour basically is an annual event, is a routine. You may recall my predecessor every year this time would undertake or embark on a tour of all military installations. The tour is designed exclusively to have an interface and dialogue with members of the armed forces in regards to their welfare and working conditions, and equally to discuss policy issues with them and what are the expectations we expect from each and every one of them. Of course, we also take the opportunity to meet with other sister services, i.e. the police, immigration, fire service, state intelligence agencies, and etc., etc. And equally, we use the visits to have a direct dialogue with regional directors, equally governors, to discuss issues that borders with securities and peace in the country, and equally to explore other areas of cooperations and coordination among member states. Right. If you look at it, basically, you're trying to share with them what you expect from each and every one. I've just assumed the mantle of leadership of the armed forces. Basically, it's just going to articulate, the visit would allow me to articulate what are my vision for the armed forces and how individually we can come into the equation to make sure that the vision is achieved. Basically, at the end of the day, we want to have an armed force that is professional, an armed force that is versatile, an armed force that is subordinate and accountable to civil authority. Because this is basically the emphasis we may want to share with the troops. And equally, we look at it in the context of this SSR, that is security sector reform. How do we embrace it as individual, as a unit, and as an organization? You may recall we already set the agenda for ourselves since 2017. It was so ambitious, though. But in our assessment, it is attainable.
A visit will also be made to other security services such as the police, immigration, fire services, and others. The tour would also include dialogues with regional directors and governors to discuss security issues in order to promote peace and stability in the country. Reporting for the Fatu Network News Review, I am Jaka Sisijete.
Welcome back, and now I am joined by my special guest today, Mr. Momodou Sabally, who is not only against gay rights, but is calling for the entire dissolution of the National Human Rights Commission. Welcome to the Fatu Network News Review, Sabally.
Thank you.
Let's start from the top and break it down, because this is a very, very controversial and complicated topic to many people. We've seen outrage from Gambians in the past weeks following the statement from the EU Ambassador Attila Leos and following statements from the National Human Rights Commission. We've also seen some political parties come out to say that this is not Gambia and we don't want this, and then we want no path. Let's start from the top. The president of the country, his position on the issue of gay rights. I know in 2018 he attended the Commonwealth Summit in the United Kingdom, where he was asked about the issue of gay rights in the Gambia. And his response was that gay rights is not an issue in the Gambia, a response that many people think that he was downplaying the issue of LGBT.
His response was beyond that. He said there will be equality. That's what he said in the front of Tony Blair. That's what he said.
And then he further
Yes.
went on to say that one can hardly tell who is gay or straight in the Gambia. Hence, he
It was
assured that the
just a
LGBT
cover-up.
community's right to live in that country is not in dispute. His point was that this is not something that is in dispute in this country. What do you make of that in the first place?
The point is, from that particular visit to the UK, where he was sitting with Tony Blair and all that funny spectacle happened, President Barrow practically, if you read between the lines, what he told the Tubabs was that we will make sure homosexuals' rights are respected and preserved. Practically, he just accepted what the Tubabs wanted. He was a bit careful in his language, but fast forward to now, EU ambassador, resident in our country, last 10 days of Ramadan, decides to launch a campaign to promote homosexuality. No statement from Barrow, no statement from his Dogo foreign minister, Mamadou Tangara. The first to respond were political parties, the top dignified political parties who care about our religion and culture, being GDC, APRC,
GMC.
UDP, GMC, and GAP. These are the political parties that stood up, and Gambians, you better watch. There's a lot of funny monkey business going on in our political scene. These are the political parties that came and spoke for Gambians, and I commend and salute all of their leaders.
So when the EU ambassador made this statement, you expected government to come out
Absolutely,
to actually say
without
something.
a doubt. We are
What does their silence tell you?
Silence means consent. An ambassador insults a whole nation, a nation of Muslims, more than 95%, Christians. Hani kafirul men be Gambia ja lutu kanke ya ke wudo ya malafala. Our ambassador keeps quiet. Our president keeps quiet. Silence means consent. You know, that's why when we're selecting leaders, we need to have certain indicators. Self-esteem, self-confidence, culture is very important. President Barrow and his foreign minister, they don't have those Gambian values. They feel that if somebody, sutubab ame minti banta, sula sage sa dem ko wara jail. That's the attitude they are. So maybe they were bombsters when they were kids. So they sit down, this guy insults us, billahi. No EU ambassador will do this in any Muslim country. They won't do it in Senegal. They won't do it in Saudi Arabia. So he knows the Gambian, he knows the psyche of the Gambian. You know, Alassane Dabo, my good friend, PR expert and Governor's Conwa. So he said Barrow doesn't have a philosophy, and that's the problem of this entire governance infrastructure. And you have somebody like Tangara, educated by the French. They gave him a PhD just like Minty Banta. And we need to start questioning some of these PhDs, especially the recent graduates. It looks like they have signed some kind of an oath of allegiance with the Western Illuminati complex.
The problem is, even the EU ambassador and the National Human Rights Commission know how much of a conservative and religious society
Exactly.
the Gambia is. So why do you think they will trigger such a topic, particularly during this period?
They're testing our pulse, that's it. And that's why I came out vehemently, all out attack. These Tubabs are very smart. These people are sophisticated. And that's why we need to be careful how we deal with them. The EU ambassador came out to test the waters. When I made the initial response, he came back to iAfrica TV, and we have to give them credit. They were the first to report this, and you journalists, sometimes you need to watch out for issues that actually matter to the people. It was iAfrica TV that brought out this report. I want to recognize them and give them credit for that. It was because it was from that video that I made a response. He came back. I heard he was almost crying because he didn't expect that people will pick this up. But they have a strategy, these Tubabs. They test the waters. If there was no response right now, there would have been an official ceremony at one of the hotels to launch their very obnoxious Yabate campaign of break the silence.
I know you came up with that thing,
Yes.
that term, like
Break the Yabate.
break the
yes, because
Yabate.
we will not have it here.
And then beside the EU ambassador, we also have Gambians, because I think everybody on the National Human Rights Commission is a Gambian.
Yes.
And then these people are also saying, okay, it's time that we let these people be who they want to be. What is your response to that, for them as Gambians advocating for the rights of, you know, the lesbians, the gays, and the transgender people?
Exactly, and that's why, you know, my initial call was for Imam Babali to resign, because as an imam, a leader of Muslim faithfuls, you cannot be in an institution that's advocating the promotion of gay rights. The imam came out, he actually made the situation worse for himself, because if he said he was not going to resign, but he came out saying that homosexuals have rights that we should respect and promote. Practically, that's what he said. And that's why I said the entire Human Rights Commission should be dissolved. I'm not saying there should not be a Human Rights Commission, but we need to staff it with people who are in full consonance with our religious and cultural ethos. We have dignified Gambians who will never bow down to Tubas because of Minty Banta.
And we've seen some political parties actually come out to condemn and say,
Yes.
we want no part of
The
this.
credible
and
political
this
parties, they all came and did that.
And who are the ones that are not credible who haven't come out?
Any political party who is not within that circle, you don't believe in our religious and cultural ethos. You are just playing monkey business with us.
If they're not coming out to condemn this thing, what do you think of that?
Silence means consent. All the political parties that kept quiet about it actually are fully in agreement with the EU that rights of homosexuals and lesbians should be respected and promoted in this country. That's it.
So what do you expect from government?
Well, what do I not expect from government? We all know we have a Bojo government, and our Barrow and his government will do anything to please these tubabs, and they will never learn a lesson. Because after...
But please this tubab in exchange for what?
That's for nothing. That's it. Because if these tubabs, Sajo, if you took a calculator right now and calculated how much money that the European Union promised this country from January, February 2017 up to today, you reach 2 billion. Not a single butut has come in this country. And yet this government is bending backwards over to please this devilish international complex that brings itself in the clothes of development assistance. Nothing. Even if they brought out $100 billion, we should not accept their conditions for homosexuality. Talk less of a development program that saw nothing in this country. In fact, things got worse. We had the highest number of casualties on the back way when Barrow took over, even though a lot of the hypocrites were blaming the Jammeh government for this back way problem.
The funny thing is that even though like a lot of Gambians are against the issue of gay rights in this country,
yes,
but we also have a segment of Gambians who say, well, let people be.
Yes, the Halali Tubabs, the recent graduates from Western universities and the so-called Dalasivists, because most of them they call themselves activists. They are not. They are Dalasivists, looking for every opportunity to get a buck from these Tubabs. They are just a few, a minority who want to be Tubabs. They are not Tubabs. Meanwhile, they don't want to be Africans. So, مُذَبْذَبِينَ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ لَا إِلَى هَؤُلَاءِ وَلَا إِلَى هَؤُلَاءِ وَمَنْ يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ فَلَنْ تَجِدْ لَهُ سَبِيلًا. There are people who, when they are with us, they pretend to be Muslims. When they go to these Tubabs, they tell, no, it's okay, this is not important. In fact, I saw a prominent politician in Twitter saying, religion is not important, we should just talk about policies. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We come from Allah and we return to Allah. Religion is our priority. Any other thing is a joke. So you have a minority of Halali Tubabs, we call them, who want to look good in the eyes of the West and you know what's sad? Tubab bu degu, Tubab bu gore, do mostly support homosexuality. So we have these people who want to be white trash amongst us in black skin. What they want will never happen here in a billion years. And I'm using a Jammeh terminology. It will not happen here in a billion years. Homosexuality in this country, it will not happen in a billion years, inshallah.
And what is your message to Gambians? What is your message to the government as well?
I want to talk to this government because this government has failed, will continue to fail. They don't know their left from their right. They don't even have the self-esteem and the self-confidence and the cultural rooting to stand for what's right in this country. All they want is to fill their pockets because they know that time is up. They are going out of this quadrangle and state house by 2021. No message for them. Adama Barrow defal lila neex ñun parel nañ la. Just start packing your luggage. You are leaving state house in 2021, inshallah ta'ala. But to Gambians, my message, and from the beginning, man, I'm not into this for hyperbole or attention or anything. You know, you struggle to keep me here to do this interview. I'm not looking for any attention. I am attention itself.
Why are you
I don't have time. Not when the guy who was talking all his yefi góor jigéen yooyu gaaruwaale fii la ko defee seen network bi la ko waxee fii la ko tonto. Man, I don't have time for all this pettiness.
So let's get
Fatu Network is bigger than you.
This is man suma platform.
This is your.
And when I am on the platform or not, how much it can la ko
You are a subset
put your point across.
You are a subset of Fatu Network. You are Fatu Network.
Yes,
Sadio Brito is not important here. This was the network that a whole religious leader came and he was doing garuwale. The garuwale ku ko de def ci góor ñun Gambia dañ jamane góor jigéen nga. So lima wax moy man, I'm not doing this for attention or anything. I have 1,001 things to do. I have family matters to take care of right now. But I think our religion and culture is important. That's why I'm here. My message to Gambians, and I said this in my first essay, my open letter to the EU ambassador. I am not telling anybody, and nobody is telling anybody to go around and fight for homosexuals and kill them and persecute them. Nobody said that. But our culture, our religion does not recognize this. We are not going to accept it. We are not going to legalize it. And the laws of this country that criminalize it will remain. It will not change here. Homosexuality will be a criminal offense in this country, and it will remain so, and we are ready to give up everything we have to make sure this country, this holy land, where Serigne Touba, Cheikh Omar Foutiyou Tall, Kang Khalifa, and other sacred, luminous, saintly souls came here to seek God, will remain a clean and sacred country, inshallah, regardless of how many billions these Toubabs are throwing at us.
I know when you came out to speak about gay rights in the Gambia, yes. Babali has responded. I'm not sure it was a direct response to you, but he has said that, okay, people are talking about him being on the Human Rights Commission because they are jealous. And do you have any response for the Imam?
I already responded when you were trying to stop me from saying it. Maybe he should talk about other people. Somebody who's been central bank economist, been to World Bank, IMF, you name it, National Budget Director, Secretary General, Minister of Presidential Affairs. Why would he be jealous of somebody who's on a Human Rights Commission? I mean, it's too cheap for me. But that's not the point, and he tried to cheapen an important issue. I'm not going to take the debate. The point is you cannot be an imam and be sitting in an institution, serving an institution that's promoting and supporting gay rights. So for me, in fact, the choice is with the community he's leading. Babali should make a choice. He either becomes an imam of the faithful whose religion is guided by the Quran, or he serves an institution that promotes and supports gay rights. But he cannot be in those two positions and be the same person.
If you are from the community of Kanifing Estate, I mean the people that he leads in congregation, what would you do? Would you request for him to
I would write a petition. He either resigns from the Human Rights Commission, or we oust him, let him go off our member. That's it. That's what I would do if I were in the Kanifing Estate community.
Thank you very much, Sabally, for coming to the Fab Network News Review.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. We'll go for a break and then we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
TAF Africa Global is proud to launch the Moria Gardens, conveniently located in Brufut, 5 minutes off the Brufut Highway. Moria Gardens is set to comprise of 20 fenced and gated service plots with sizes ranging from 264 to 420 meters square. Unique features include water and electricity infrastructure, solar street lights, all-weather roads and scenic gardens. We offer a 10-year mortgage plan with a 25% equity down payment in partnership with GT Bank, Trust Bank and EcoBank. For more information, please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333 or visit our offices at Madiba Mall at TAF Brufut Gardens, opposite 5-Star Hotel.
Welcome back. And now the Gambia Transport Union says government should start easing down measures on transportation, just like other sectors of the economy. The union said they should at least be allowed to go back to carrying what they are licensed to carry in their vehicles. Omisau reports.
Vehicles to carry what they are licensed to carry. The union in a news conference on Monday insists the relaxation of the state of emergency measures on all the other sectors of life, including places of worship, pose more risks to the society than commercial passenger vehicles.
Affaire yi ñun niñ ko gisee mooy affaire yi kumba am ndey ak kumba amul ndey la. Driver bi moom dina fi nekk rek ku nekk jóge fu la neex def ku lu la neex dem fu la neex loolu nag moo fi jeex. Dafa am yoo xamante ne duñ ko jël di dee duñ ko jël di dunda duñ ko jël di jooy duñ ko jël di réem mooy like kan ci government sector bi lañ jël sa salary slice ko into two ne la you will receive half salary because COVID-19 moo xew amut ñun ñu jël suñ income xaaj ko into slice ko ci digga bi 50% off ba pare nañu you have to bear. We had no problem with that. Immediately after la suñ président bi wax secretary general bi mu binda a press release ne drivers yëpp nañ adhere to what is been announced. And all of them, we are managing with that. Despite we have cases here and there where people will take a passenger or two more, we do have those ones, and that's it. But then, they fine you $5,000. Driver bi government su ñoo make policies duñ dee calculate ne driver bi Gambian la. Duñ dee try calculate ne ñoom ñoo wax Gambian youth si ne leen jóg leen ngeen dem liggéey léegi jóg leen ngeen dem liggéey di Gambian youth jóg dem di liggéey luñ am ngeen nangu ko seen loxo loolu are you encouraging them or discouraging them? You are obviously discouraging them. And ñu bari dañ day téye ne Gambia maybe drivers majority bi they are foreigners. No, man, I have 2 of my kids ñoo xamante ne they are driving they're going to school suñu wàccee dañ dee taxi keneen am na noonu they are born and raised here. So look, any other youth luñ formulate pour any other youth war nañoo calculate pour driver bi tam, but it's not the case because any time ñu formulate a law dafa mel ni dañoo ne xaaral ñu defaral suñ police yi fuñ coppee and then duñ dee delluwaat pour revisit ko because kenn tegut pressure seen kaw. Now we'll be putting pressure on them.
The news conference comes as the Gambia Transport Union embarked on a nationwide tour to see how drivers are coping with the situation. But according to the president of the Gambia Transport Union, the transport is faced with so many constraints.
We have 2 different programs, different issues you want to solve with the government. But as of now, we are demanding only 2 major things in the transport sector from the government. It's our constitutional right to demand from them. First of all, is allow the passenger vehicle to carry their maximum number of the vehicle. Comme seen insurance motor insurance nu ngi ko fayee nu ngi ko waxee motor lancing dix nu ngi ko waxee ñu allow ñu ko, that's our constitutional right. Number 2, just government mu jox ñu land space as a garage throughout the country, each region, because since day 1 up to date any at bu yees bi su ñëwee the drivers balaa ñu apply the route dañoo fay all necessary tax before applying the route, whether they need that or not. So that's not their problem. But government, we observe it. Every year, you have a duty to the council just to provide a car park us, but we haven't seen any car parks. We have been engaging the Ministry of Local Government, Bindalan, on the 9 March 2020, just to call a stakeholder meeting, put new water and baby the way forward. We copied the Ministry of Transport at the all regional council throughout the country, but we don't see any response from them.
The drivers are also threatening to hold a sit-down strike if the government does not assuage their concerns.
So Lumbo Amal government, Monday now against on the 22nd, that's Monday coming, 12 a.m. So if the government is not meeting our demands, the government transport and IC membership, we are going to sit down strike until the government meet our demands. Whether 1 month or 1 week, that's not our problem.
Ñu nekkul ne dañoo ñëw pour challenge government. waaye comme mu ko waxee suñ constitutional right la pour ñu wane suñ bopp ne lii lañ bëgg a am tey dafa jot tamit pour ñu wane suñ bopp ne lii lañ bëgg a am because driver yàgg na ñoo muñ comme ni mu ko waxee ñu bëri ñu ngi leen jël ñu bëri ñu ngi leen caaj xaalis yoo xam ne ñu ngi ko leb mënuñ ko fee benn tey ñu bëri ngi ñàkk seen place so ci kaw loolu ñu ngi te bind nañ lettre yu bëri wan government problème yi xew wane ñu consider ñu comme ni mu ko waxee féeri bi lu moo jël gisuma ban crowd moo ëpp crowd féeri bi loolu benn moto mënu ko eb ñaata moto yu eb ci féeri bi su wàccee jumaa yi li faa nekk si nit xaju ci benn moto marché yi li faa nekk si nit xaju ci benn moto comme ñu ngi mun a jàppale ñu ñëpp jox leen loo xam ne dinañ am méthode yoo xam ne dinañ ko mën a liggéeyee kon waaye not ñu dem dimbale driver yi nga xam ne kuy dem marché driver la yóbbu wala nga dem ci féeri bi driver moo la faa yóbbu jumaa yi bu sóoree sax driver la yóbbu nga dem foofu noonu kon lu tax ñun duñ ñu mën a dimbale ñun driver yi
be nga lon transport o be katama ñamen banko kan ani dunia kono transport o kayro la mtol kala fi kayro la transport yaaje dawda aka bari kayro la birin so manda fatilo boy mu kala fi fitno la because fitno mantol arranger bari mbe lafi la fanam nim min ka do ke man sakunda o fanan saka lonko driver fanan na nyanto wato wata ka kantane anin kayla bunya dila ñimu dunia be la problème moleti bay driver da mata ci duno ci kanola taxi driver da mata ci duno ci kanola mo yala kayto jo 14 passenger hana 7 passenger ci ga ya samba kitel ka alaman $5,000 mol be yalla ko wonte dunia ko do luwati womu do mani bafal albantaj lam and ko ñin driver bota fa la ñameng man sa kunda moto wo man limite soto fo wol bu ka courant fo taxi driver dama courant be wolto bang because ñimo accuse net ak man da kon to lay problème soto dunia be courant o bari a nyanna soto taxi o damat fo private moto ta so no because private in soro be fofa ngota e ka 5 ta police ol kaje ibaka fem bari nin taxi o ye 3 mo sabat ke koma don yiwo muta nyindo na mo nani ke koma yiwo tuje wonte luwa tilnit.
The drivers are now looking at the next days to see if the government will listen to their demands. Reporting for the Fatu Network News Review, Umisau. Vehicles.
Meanwhile, the people of Brufut have said they will do everything in their power to ensuring their lands are in their custody. Brufut is among a host of towns in Kombo enmeshed in land problems. The town often accused the government of instigating the problems. Fatu Kamara was at a press conference the people of Brufut held at the weekend, and she now tells us more.
Hello, this is the Fatu Network. We are here today in Brufut. The people of Brufut are holding a press conference to discuss on land dispute issues that have been going through in this community. As we all know, Brufut has been one of the communities that has been affected by land disputes. Therefore, follow us through this press conference and see what these people have to discuss on.
Ye minken na sateto adimingo warta bak. Yen tol tale ko manke Gambia dinti ntol man kan soto nyim banko kan man sale sembo warta ntol man sa sembo be warda molti nyaadi le mol min ke man sa sindi mol min ke man sa tombong oto niaje kudo be soto la man sa kunda do ku lalu wala be tinyaro la nyim banko kan andung bi Brufut mimbe kerin jambi hani bimbe tembo minto sanyi teng nim mantanin hakilola tonnun sate dunta nyot sanyin wati nata soto nyin kolya mimbe kering sate kono na VDC nata bemo soto o bemo mobe nata kumbo iko kene mantu sate to pour yirwa do ko mobe ya kumbo nata foko mbe committee lola je minu nyanta kala committee ti kenyin kenolu jube kenolu min be sate kono jang nse kena jumala tano nga foko nyin nyanta kala sate la kenole wodo ko kabra dita na committee la ndemo min fongo chairmanoti kabringa bem foloke na miro tata mino kan kenole njita kene jumalta nga foko nyimu sate kenole amantaraji bari nata si ko dake nko kene jumalle tutaje no kenol fanam be jube nata je ko a kenol siata asia ndolga min haymanu wato atada fo kene lulu bar wo kola jana commission kabriya set up nyim banko kan pour ya jamme ye kenol min ta nyim banko kan ya jube be min kala woto nata wo reporto soto a reporto fele nyato jang wo reporto a fele wala nankale bi CDA al nata wala jang pour ale ke sedoti ale ke kiti kuntulati nimman sakunda tema nyen reporto kenetang wala be kering mi ya lonko ya jamme yeta na Brufut jang nyen commissiono nata kuma foje mfanan nata nyin buko sang nga jube mbe nyin filo min kono jay ka fo mi strasa fil commissioner ya male andu commissioner la recommendation o nata ke minti wolom nyinti ko ntolu min bi jang konke jallo min kama multipurpose center wala fanan commissioner fanaye wo recommendation o lek wo en kono fa commissioner la do ko kene dol fanan bije min ya lonko commissioner ye ma kene fulanjango wolom CSC campoti wolom ne janjube nyato jana dron CSC campo bije o campo nada ke ko fanante mi ya lonko nyin commissioner ay nyimbuko ay kuma fo woto ni tata Sheraton hotel o nyinto a nyato na ma fon le jani nga koma wo fanambe ay wo fanambe lisle bari commission la report mi tandi wolom nyinti ko nyin kenolu minu be nyin ma fangolla natare man saba kala kuti o sate mol ba kala kuti anyanda kala kulati mi ya lon ko anyanda kala jama quality wolon public utility pra ke kuti jama be se nafa soto no minto kad control la jang keno ka fo minna ko keno se soto je pour jama do ko public utility woti janne fereng wala tinna ye wo recommendation okay
mbeñin ground min tu janto dulalo mi yalon ko ngadula ñin sutele anu ngalo ne baki fanan ngalo wati jamalay because ndol fanan nene tarata no bur foot sports committee lo munu nene keta no la secretary general te wo wato la nga jang identify wato mena pro ay kano bur foot la sports center te multipurpose center te it was in the 90s sanji jang koma la woti andung kabiru wo time wala kanafu bila ayatara mansakunda nyim falinta bara mansakunda la fan ngo kola wato nyaawo nyamala wo mansakunda mi mboto janto ime nyatilin janna pour que fenke jang mi satinna ase burfurun kol bay jang parce que yaaje la koy no burfurun kol jang identify le warante jam mutale pour ay ke dulami ya lon ko dale ba develop la pour la future sports arena nim kumbo nyama ntol dol fana nga kata kol ke wo wato la in the 90s pour ka je koy no mansakunda e soutero je janto mi ya lon ko ise bulo fata janna e kana jamma jammu dulal te mi yalan ko dal burfoot la dulal lo burfoot la satel bankolomu and ifango tamu minti ibita o talono jamale bulu ifango tamu minti ifango la ko dino ifango la wala tina jang pour momo yalan ko dal inata pour ilafta pour que jantani forcer la imari salon ko ika kule ma ko mi dala asambo war la ba ndek no min belorin jantenting kabirin janna diamol kumasta nga kala motol nunko ministre kabrim falindiro ninketa ñi ministre mi bijetende Moussa Dramé en telephone call akonyo ko mbe tala la pour ngeke mediatoti between Burfutu and Mansakunda wato dola mbe nun Russia nata nun jang pour ko mediation no ñing pour ka tamandi ngo tamandi le pour ka make sure Mansakunda ya lonko Burfurun kolu funding kewlu musol ning kewlu alfale mo bele niyobe larin janto momo yalan ko don ilafta pour ka makoy wolom nyintu man sakunda be kayto lel dadala pour ka di sate molla ka je koy no ilafta minna janto way ke jang buba sanyang ala press conference auto I mean amam me bake ako burfun kol man channel of communication no established between burfuning atondi le man sakunda tema lafta fly ko maybe nata ko anala minister ka diamunung ala minister ba fly ko mo dantan bijanna am sure ko aftante modo bina diamulal min fana be kala sedoti ka tandi ko ntol keta molel timi yalan ko dala nga government engage le because we are law abiding citizens manke dingoliti dingo mi yalon ko mbe masakunda tara nyatole nkanata fokobang ngana kelota ka wulindi o masakunda kama wala yatinna amanke siloti wala yatinna amanke jotayati nga masakunda engage pour ka tandi la ko nyindula han like previous speaker ya fanyamin han one by one ink manta dila mola mi ya lanko dala aba useful for selfish interest asoto do kono ngole fo ngafo minister ele ko burfur stasa anim burfur la CSC dulal lo mi ya lanko dala jane commissioner ye recommendation lelke wo recommendation wollo nyinti ko pour que murundi glad se murun satella previous speaker ya fo janne ay quotation okay from the jane commission Jana commission lo recommendation of nyine diko burfut la strasa anin CSC pour woli murung burfut sate kan buba la diamo nyin kono ate nyine foje ko burfudun kolu ibe nyin burfut la funding kelu ibe jam fence kanne andi ma authority soto imam paper soto la njida kaito soto jamale bulu kaito mba tala jamale bulu pour que jang bil itami yalan ko dal itelo man sakundati ando ite fonk biyela pour que to serve the interest of the people o mol nate ya e ko lafta pour que ñun droit ñu ne réserve ngamale tele ñante té cité la pour ko ma o mol ma ko yi pour ko di bala ñi di bala dalil taman batina sayin to le bella fila pour que murum ko ta pour que ta kayto ñini nintalo kayto fana ñini ite lafta pour que na fitino ñin kata murnu o mol kan lafta pour que min tandi wolom ñinti ko dugara funding kel mi yalan ko dal bi jang jandi be continuer la na diamola mbe man tara ku kilin jang momo yalan ko dal ibijang ining hidin jandale be bulu momo yalan ko dal ibijang ining vested interest dole bije mi yalan ko anin sate community la interest man clear alma mari fel
land dispute has been a long-standing issue between the people of Brufut. However, today's press conference was centered around the Brufut Straza field, the CSC camp, and also a response to the letter of the Permanent Secretary for Local Government and Lands, which states that the CSC camp belongs to the Bojankunda family. The people of Brufut strongly reject these statements coming from the Permanent Secretary, adding that they will do anything and whatsoever to make sure that they recover all lands that were taken from them.
Well, thank you there, Fatou Kamara. That's it for News Review. Do join us tomorrow if you can. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.